Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Maria. I'm director at the European Cultural Academy. We're very happy to welcome you at this Q&A. From experience, I know that Erasmus can be a great, fascinating, exciting experience, but the application process can be difficult and sometimes confusing. So we're very happy to hold these Q&A sessions for teachers and the school administrators, anyone who would like to do a project. And we are also planning more online and offline events for accredited schools to share their projects, their expertise, their concerns and questions. So stay tuned for that. For today's session, we've planned several things. So here is a short outline. I'll start with a short introduction, and then my colleagues Francesca and Sara will walk you through what is Erasmus Plus, so the basic information if you don't know where to start and would like a direction, and teaching through art, which is the approach that European Cultural Academy have chosen for its Erasmus programs. We do not focus on everything, we just decided to do a certain approach, which is teaching through art. Finally, we'll have Q&A for your questions. I know usually we have quite a lot, so you're more than welcome to share them now in the chat, or we're going to leave our emails later just in case you want a one-on-one session or have a particular question about your situation or project. So let's get started. So how we can make Erasmus experience better, and what you of course can tell me in the chat. And one of the things that we're hearing is that people don't want Erasmus to be a one-off experience. I just go for 1 week or for 2 weeks somewhere, job shadowing or training, and that's it. I want to share what's happening in my school. I want to share what I've learned. I want to come back and I want to create personal connections and institutional connections, international connections with different schools and with teachers. So we really want to create and build this community where it is easy, it's not bureaucratic, and there is somebody who creates the right environment for you to share and communicate. A part of it is such sessions and Q&A. Part of it is teacher training in Amsterdam, Barcelona, and Venice. We also organize events for accredited schools and non-accredited schools where people just share their experience and they can talk. So it's a kind of event, a conference kind of thing that we're organizing online and offline. Connected to this, another goal is to equip teachers with consistent and coherent learning path. Again, so it just not be 1 week where you come and then you disappear. We really want to engage, and we try to build the learning paths. When you start a project in your school, you come once, and then you come the second time to a different maybe school or to a different city, to a different course. So you feel that there is a continuity with your project. And then we have 2 goals that are connected to the whole system of Erasmus. It's giving teachers high quality Erasmus experience and making Erasmus paperwork easier. So for high quality Erasmus experience, it's really, sometimes it's short, but it has to be exceptionally good with the methodology, with creating special experiences, with learning and fun, so that the learning is balanced with the fun as well. For Erasmus paperwork, it's hard, we all know it. So we try to, I know that there have been a lot of attempts inside the Erasmus and national agencies to make it easier, but there's still some support that has to be given. So a part of it is, again, Q&As like this, but also short and practical guides that we prepare, personalized one-on-one meetings. We are here, just reach out if you have any questions about any project, and we'll try our best to answer it, okay? So this is how we see our role in the Erasmus program in general. And that's why we are doing this event and organizing training. So one question that we always get is why teaching through art? And we really are advocating, believing that the art can save the world for 2 reasons. First, it's the range of challenges that teaching through art can address. Gaming, pedagogy of attention, mental health, bullying, cultural heritage, European values, sustainability. all the challenges that are priorities for the European Union and that are in the Erasmus programs as priorities till 2027, all of them can be addressed with teaching through art. It's such a powerful tool that allows you to work with different age groups, from the smallest to the elders, teenagers and kids, with the different communities. And that's why we focus on it, because we want people to see the potential of how art can help them solve their challenges. The second is the power and range of tools that it gives to both teachers and students. When you work with art, and it can be singing, it can be art as painting, it can be art as different creative tools. It just makes you feel so empowered. It gives you a sense of an incredible range of resources that are just at your fingertips because you're using the method of teaching through art. So that's a very important goal for us as well, to make people aware of this range of tools that teaching through art can give you. And then lastly is the opportunity of connection. In our trainings, we sometimes invite artists to teach and share their experience. And I will never forget, we had an artist sharing her experience. And after her lecture, her class, everyone in the classroom, all the teachers and all the team, they were crying. It was so emotional. And I remember a teacher coming to me and saying, I remembered why I became a teacher and why I want to be a part of this community. Because when you talk about art and when you talk about teaching through art, it is something that really can connect you to something very deep inside. You can make it personal, and that is an amazing experience. So we chose teaching through art because we can address different challenges, because it provides incredible tools, and because it can be very personal for teachers. And I think it's important because we all know that teaching emotionally can be quite draining. So coming back to yourself and finding this spark, I think that it's incredibly important. If you want to know more about it, we have an academic approach, and we have what we called Edu Bible, so our educational Bible. So if you want to learn more about this approach, just go to our website, we'll send you the links, and then you can find more materials about it. It's such an amazing tool. So I just do recommend to go and check it out. Finally, if you are more interested about Erasmus application, there are a couple of useful materials that we have on our website, and it's about Erasmus application, learning outcomes, all the questions that you have, and if you don't know how to answer them, there are very good recommendations. And there is also a quick guide for schools, so how to implement or start an Erasmus project within your school with very, very simple steps. So this is my part. I'm so happy to see you all. I really hope that we can start this journey together to learn more about teaching through art and to feel connected and empowered thanks to the Erasmus programs. So thank you very much. Now I'm gonna pass the presentation baton to Francesca, my colleague. Thank you. Hi, Francesca, you are muted.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Maria. Hi, everybody. My name is Francesca. I'm based in Barcelona, and we're going to start here. We're going to kick off with our courses in April. And I'm going to go through a very short presentation on Erasmus. So for some of you, it might be a repetition. And for many of you who are not familiar at all with Erasmus+, this is a good basics information to get the bigger picture of the program. So what is Erasmus+? Erasmus+ is the program of the European Union for education. So it was born with the overall aim to support any educational initiative in many sectors. We're going from schools, adult education, vocational education, training, youth, and sport. What we are looking into today is schools and adult educations. And with these two terms, we include teachers, any kind of educators, any range of school staff, librarians, anybody involved in education. So the program of Erasmus Plus, it's called now 2021-2027, because every 6 years, the European Union gathers and decides, allocates a budget on education. And we're talking, of course, about billions of euros. And for this cycle, the goals that have been established are the one that you can read here. So, inclusion, diversity, sustainability, digitalization, these have been also mentioned by Maria. So the question is, how do we approach this goal? How do we achieve these goals? By promoting and funding mobility abroad, cooperations across borders, exchanges among different European countries. So we're talking about European Union. So of course, who is eligible for this? The 27 members of the European Union, and plus other associated countries, which are Iceland, Liechtenstein, North Macedonia, Norway, Serbia, and Turkey. So what do we mean with mobility? What is mobility for pupils and staff in school education? So they are programs for staff that ranges over courses and trainings. We have from 2 to 30 days of active courses. By active courses, it means like it's meant not conferences, because these are considered as passive. So active courses and training, job shadowings, teaching assignments. These last two, they can go up to 1 year, and they are based on like partnerships with other organizations or schools. Under the same big wing, there are also mobility for learners, which are probably the most famous or popular. So we're talking about group mobility, exchanges with students, with other schools, and this concerns students, learners. What we're looking into today is the mobility for staff. So here I put a link directly to the website of the European Union with a guide. You don't faint when you open, because it's over 400 pages. So I put here, if you want to note down, the pages 99 to 113 are the one we are interested in. So how do we do this? What can we do with mobility? KA1 stands for K Action 1. And this is the name of the European program for mobility project. It's called Learning Mobility of Individuals. And I have to stress here that although it's written individuals, you as a single person, you cannot apply for this kind of fundings, but you apply on the name of your school, on the name of your institution. And then the institution is going to allow several individuals, groups of teachers, to go into mobility projects. So there are two types of mobility projects that you can apply for. The first one is called short-term projects, and they are pedagogical development plans lasting from 6 to 18 months, which include a mobility. The deadline for the application is in a month, a little bit more, on the 23rd of February at 12. And these all projects are going to start from the 1st of June. The second type of mobility project that we are looking into is called accreditation. And this goes over a longer period of time. And you can apply for this every year, once a year. The deadline is in October for this year. And once you get the accreditation, then you can organize many mobilities every year till 2027, which is the end of the European program. So what is a project application? What are we talking about in concrete terms? So what do you have to do? Your school creates a project that includes a mobility on a matter that you want to get better for, where your school wants to see a development, to get better, to do more. And to do that, you can think about increasing the quality of teaching and learning, enriching your professional network across European countries, learning about new innovative tools, and of course, eventually sharing these new practices and transferring them in your classrooms and also, of course, among your colleagues. And the planning for any project application looks like in 4 steps. So you have the first part is the planning, defining learning outcomes, activities, and schedule. And we can help you a bit with that because on our website for each course, you're going to see the description is divided exactly by the same criteria asked by the European Union. So you can actually just copy paste what is written in there for our courses. And I think my colleague Sarah will tell you a bit more on this later. Preparation, what we mean by preparation, of course, all the practical arrangement to get your project done. So selection of participants who want to take part in getting into a conversation, book the courses that you want to do, and all the agreements with partners that you need to actually realize your activities. And finally, this is also very important. There must be a follow-up, which includes the implementation of the new practices that you, as a teacher, group of teachers that have gone on mobility and have dealt with the project, you're going to evaluate that, and then, of course, also think about ways to disseminate everything that you learn. So I put here a very small practical example, so you know in concrete terms what we're talking about. And here I made this up project application of the duration of 12 months, let's say, with a budget to be allocated of 20,000 for a project of staff mobility for 10 school staff members. And the theme I put in here is developing pedagogical approaches through art and creativity to promote inclusion and communication. So this is just an example for you to see how the basics of a project can look like. So you are not alone in this. There are for every country a national agency. What do? They provide any kind of information on Erasmus+, and they support you as applicants and all the participants that are interested in this. But they are also going to be the people who are receiving your application. So once you submit it, they're going to read it and they're going to make the final decision whether you actually get the fundings or not. So your school is going to submit the application directly to the national agency. And important to note, this can happen in your own language, so in your national language. Here I put a list of a national agency. This link I'm going to also share later on in the chat, and you're going to receive, by the way, my presentation. So no worries. And lastly, I'm going to go through the 3 steps that you need to do in order to apply for Erasmus. So the first one is very short. I put here 3 minutes. You need to register as individual in the European Union portal. This is how the page looks like. Very simple, first, last name, email address. You're going to receive an email address to confirm that you're a real person, and then you're going to get into your EU account. The second step is a little bit longer. You need to register, very important, a number for your school. This is called OID number, also formally called PIC. So you could find information, it's the same thing. Every school needs to have an OID number in order to apply to any European Union grants program. So it's very important that you do this first of all. It's going to be a unique number of your school, and it can only be obtained by organizations. So you're going to register with your own email address, but then you're going to need to ask the OID number for your school. So this is how your page is going to look like when you click on this link. Here on the left, you'll have organizations, register my organizations, and then the system wants to check first whether your school or institution has already an OID number. So you can put here the legal name of your institution, click on search, and then if you actually don't have an OID number, you're going to see this page. I couldn't find my organization. Then you click register my organizations, and you're going to put all the data of your institution. Step 3, that's the longest one, where you're going to actually apply. And here you see right on the left, my application. This is how it's going to look like when you click. And so as we said before, there are 2 types of application you can do, the short-term project and the accreditations. And these are the codes for this project. So K action 1 for both. And then we have 22 for short-term project and 20 for accreditation. So be careful you choose the right one. And here, just to finish, I decided to put here also, again, our OID number as European Cultural Academy. I'm going to share this also in the chat. And a quick note for you, once you apply with our academy as partner institution, as hosting institution, you'll notice that our head office in Amsterdam. So you're going to put all our details in your application based on the Dutch address, although you are applying for trainings in Italy, in the Netherlands, or in Spain. Yes, so I'm done. And I hope I give you all the important information, the basics information you were expecting to have. And I will leave the stage to my colleague, Sarah, to tell you a bit more about our organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca. Thank you. Hi, everybody. So I am going to speak in English, and you can answer then your question. You can tell your questions whenever after my presentation will be the 3 of us will have talked, and then it will be your time for questions that you can do in your language, if it's French or German or Spanish. So let me share my screen too. Okay. Can you see my presentation? Yes, good. So as Maria said, so she works as an executive director for ECA since 2006, and with Erasmus Plus, we decided to do courses in teaching through art. Why? Because, as she said, we believe that creativity is one of the base of pedagogical studies and pedagogical innovation. Since 2006, we started doing trainings in Venice. That's where we were born as a training center. They got real and bigger in 2016. We went through COVID having teachers coming with masks and temperature. And now we are the largest training center on teaching through arts, based in 3 cities. We host more or less 500 teachers every year in these 3 cities. Last year, we had a very good news. One of the teachers who came from Ireland with her colleagues, with a group of teachers of the same school, got a European award for innovative teaching, innovative pedagogy, after a course on arts and Biennale with us. So we are very happy this year. Our step forward this year is to multiply the topics of the courses, and that is what I want to talk to you today. First thing, common thing about all our courses is that they last 6 days, from Monday to Saturday. They all cost 660 euros and give you 36 hours of training. Part of them are in a training center, and the other part are in museums. These courses, of course, that's why we're here, are all covered by Erasmus+. They have been recognized, and we deliver a Europass certificate on Friday, on the day before the last day of the training. We also, of course, sign any document contract with NERNA that you need before, during, and after you come to us. The other main idea of the main thing of all these courses, then I'll go into the detail, is that creativity is a process, not a result. Also, like Francesca, I will share everything I say here after by email. We will send you the PDF of these presentations. Our idea is that through art, you can change your way you live, your knowledge to art, and the way you teach. The very important thing to say before going into detail is that our courses are not only for art teachers. We are happy to have art teachers, but actually when they come, they go in a kind of exchange peer-to-peer with the trainers. And so the dialogue is for people that what we ask from you is that you like to go to museums. Okay, even if you're not used to go there, we want people who want to think about how to integrate art in their teaching. So that, I think, is basically the common things. So we are based in Venice, where we have the biggest part of our trainings, Amsterdam and Barcelona, and in the 3 cities, we're in the heart of the historical center. The first course that was created from the European Cultural Academy is called Teaching and Learning Through Art, Theory and Practice. For us, it's our main training still, where we have the biggest number of people. And I will tell a little bit more how it is organized. It is in English, it's in Venice. And you start the week with some art-based methods, tools and practices, some discussion also for ice-breaking, to know you between you, some discussion on your knowledge and what you want from art. This is done with a facilitator that works for us. We have more or less 10 trainers that always work for us, some mother tongue in English, some Italian, who live everybody lives in Venice, and they install a kind of dialogue with you at the start of the week. Then you go to museums. You go and see 2 permanent collections of Venice, Galleria dell'Accademia, that is from Gothic, medieval to Barocco, okay, collections from Venetian churches, Venetian painters, and a modern collection. So when Biennale is on, you go to visit Biennale, and most of the course is on Biennale. So Biennale is a show of contemporary art that goes on every year in Venice. It's called Biennale because one year it's about architecture and the other one is about art. If Biennale is not on, because Biennale is during 6 months per year, the other 6 months you go to Guggenheim Museum, Peggy Guggenheim collection in Venice. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is an example schedule, but on Thursday, sometimes we do it also in Wednesday, but you meet an artist. And we work here with artists that have this idea of creativity as a process in their work. So there is a presentation, a lecture from the artist, and then a whole Q&A session and dialogue. The most intense days of training, you have half day free at the middle of the week, but then Thursday and Friday are quite intense because that's when you start thinking about the project you want to go back with. The project that will be with, so you can come by yourself, but most of the time people come in from 2 to 20 colleagues of the same school. So your team will build a project that you will develop in time in your school about creativity, and that can be the most interdisciplinary it is, the best it works. And also our courses are open from kindergarten teachers to high school teachers, so the more you're mixed, the better it works. So Thursday and Friday are these days where, as you see on my schedule, you design your project, you put it hands-on with a collage workshop, and also you talk about it with your colleagues. So you go back with, of course, all projects of everybody are put in common at the end of the week. On Friday we have a little certificate ceremony, a little cocktail. If it's good weather, we have it outside, so that's the plus value. And on Saturday you go and see a third museum. We look at what is going on in Venice at that time, and you go there on Saturday. We do in every city, we make sure that everything is finished around 1 p.m. of Saturday, because often you have to go back with your flight or your train on Saturday afternoon. So that is our, let's say, principal, how do we have to give him a name? It's our base course, teaching and learning through art. We suggest that course in Italian and in French. So in Italian, we don't give it in Venice because the mobility has to be European. We give this course, as you can see, in Amsterdam in Italian. And in French, we give it, we have the same course. In French, it's the first line, you see it, enseigner et apprendre à travers l'art. Nothing particular to say, it's the same course, but with facilitators, of course, mother tongue French. We work with 3 great trainers in Venice, because sometimes we have up to 60 French teachers at the time. So there's a real mixture of projects all over the French country. So that brings me to other courses. So this is a kind of it's screenshots of our website, so you can recognize the courses. And this is what happens in Venice, first line, in Amsterdam and in Barcelona. So we decided to bring our course out of Venice with new topics. Why? Because there's a lot of forms of art. And in Amsterdam, we met a group of theater improvisation professionals, professional of training, adult training. And they did the job of designing us a training about teaching through arts with storytelling. So in Amsterdam, the course is given in 3 languages, Italian, French, and English. And the idea is to go to 2 museums. In Amsterdam, you go to Van Gogh and to Reich Museum. This year, there's the Vermeer exhibition that is starting now. So you go to the museum for starters of the week, you work with an educator specialized on going with children in a museum. So you have kind of the same thinking that you had in Venice. But the 2 last days of the week are about theater improv. So you do an introduction to theater improv. All the common thing of this is how to use some vocabulary about art to teach your own discipline. That's for Amsterdam. Barcelona is our newcomer. We have 2 newcomers, some courses in Venice and in Barcelona. So then I'll come back to Venice. Barcelona, we met architects. There are great architecture exhibitions in Barcelona always going on. So the topic of Barcelona course is art, school, and the city. Our goal is that when you go back to your school, you organize art exhibits with your students outside of the school. It's to bring kids out of the school. So you go to Barcelona. I think I have an example schedule. Yes. And same thing, you see Miro Foundation, Mies van der Rohe Foundation, so for architecture, Mies van der Rohe. And your educational workshops are on street art and collaborative work, So exactly the same topics, but with a whole other kind of exercises. Okay, so that's for the details. Let's come back to Venice. Why did we change city at first? Because as Francesca said, Erasmus Plus votes, EU votes every 6 years a budget. So from 21 to 27, you can ask an accreditation and do various mobilities. We realized that for first when teachers, it was a group of French teachers who wanted to come back to a training to us. So we said, let's suggest other topics or other cities. And so for the moment, a trainer that comes, a teacher that comes for the first time, for example, in Venice, then he can go to Amsterdam and Barcelona. But also you can come back to Venice, and these are the other courses we have. The methodology is the same, but the topics change. As you can see here, I hope you can read. It's not too, it's too little, no? You can read? Okay. As you can see here, we have a course on creative and digital. Also on the topic of creativity, we think that there are some effects that social media, interactive platforms search that are called dopamine effects. And we suggest a study on these effects to see how pedagogy is not the same structure, not the same methodology, and to see how we can use them, not as enemies, but as colleagues, as friends. That's creative and digital. European Cultural Heritage is a course, more academic course for people who want to know more about art history, and it's a travel through Venice, Renaissance and Baroque art. Of course, you have all the detail on the website. Eh? The two courses, creativity and improve your English, are, so the two ones are for everybody, all disciplines and all levels. These two ones are for language teachers. Language teachers, the first one, creativity for teachers of foreign language, are for all language teachers from all countries. The idea is to apply a methodology that is called visual thinking strategies, that is for teaching languages through image, and in particular through art. The other one, improve your English with creative tools, it's for English teachers, but also for teachers that have to teach their discipline in English. For example, with CLIL methodology. So our course is based on CLIL methodology, so integrated learning, and it is for also teaching with English language through visual thinking strategies. Okay. And last but not least, it's a course we are starting this year on the initiative of teachers who came back to us and said, okay, you want to use art, so why don't we use music? So we already have visual arts, theater, and now music. This course is about how to use music as a communicative tool. So it's for teachers who have to build a choir in their classroom, who have to make children sing together, and also for music teachers, of course. I think I went through everything. I will also send you in a PDF. So the question is, when do we do these courses? Basically, there is always a training during your holidays. European schools have very different holidays. France is the country where there's more holidays. So basically we adapt to the French calendar, and all French holidays are covered. So every other country can come. You will have this calendar, but also I must say that for us, it's very easy to organize courses outside of these dates. But your school or your consortium has to have a group of enough teachers. Usually we say 15. So if you are 3 or 4 schools together, or a very big school, if you are at least 15, we can organize at least 3 months in advance a mobility ad hoc for you in one of our venues, because we have these, now I'm in the Venetian training center. So we have these training centers. I think that's all for me. We will put our emails in the chat. You already have them, I think. As Maria told you, please write to us for a Zoom call. We're very happy to discuss. If you have a team of teachers that wants to organize a Zoom call for information, write to us and we will do that. We're here for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sara. While you were presenting, there were a couple of questions in the chat. So I think now you can ask the question, put it in the chat so everyone can see and we can answer. We're more than welcome. So first question is, are NGOs and educational centers are also eligible to apply for the Erasmus project? And the answer is yes. The thing is that for education, the education has to be your primary activity. Okay. If you send me, I'm going to put my email. If you send me a nature of your educational center or of your NGO, then I can recommend other funding that you can apply to, because Erasmus has a range of different programs. So if Erasmus Plus, this particular action is not right for you, just write me a little bit or send me the website and I might recommend something that will work. Within your, even not on the European level, but also within your country, because sometimes we work with ministries of education and ministries of culture, and we know about some inside opportunities. Okay.
There was a question about accreditation and short-term projects at the same time from Simonetta.
Out loud so everybody sees, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so Simonetta was asking, is it possible to apply for accreditation and for short-term project for staff training at the same time? So here is a bit tricky, because you can ask for accreditation once a year with deadline in October, every October, and you can ask for a short-term project in February, and maybe it's not out yet, a date in October. But if you are an accredited school, then you cannot ask for short-term projects. So if you are thinking to the next deadline, Simonetta, for February, you should look into the short-term project. And if you decide that your school, your institution wants to be accredited by for up to 2027, then you can ask for accreditation October next year. And I hope I answered this question, Simonetta. Let me know if it's still unclear, or if anybody else had the same doubt. And also I see also another question from Severin from France. Is this program teaching and learning through art also suitable for teachers of kindergarten school? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. And yes, I put there some links that I also mentioned in my presentation. So the Erasmus Plus guide, list of national agencies, and our details. And again, you will receive all the details of the presentations also per email afterwards over the next days. Let me see if there were other questions.
Maybe the one about, oh wait, I lost it. Can a school participate without funding? Yes, absolutely. We are the training center. So whatever funding you have, or whatever personal, also, that is not a problem. Oh yes, Audrey, can a school participate even if it does not apply for funds? So yeah, answer is absolutely yes. Can I answer? Sorry, Maria, it seems like if it's for you, proposez-vous des formations autres que dans le domaine de l'art? Sinon, comment peut-on avoir des informations sur ces formations? The only one that is not immediately about art is the pedagogy of attention about digital. But no, our main focus is on arts, yeah.
One question from Severin again. So if the school is already accredited, can we ask another mobility in July for another teachers from the same school?
Yes, so you can ask for another mobility. I don't know what you mean with another mobility. So I guess your school is accredited maybe from last year. So you can ask for new projects starting this year, but then the code is going to be different. So for accredited school is not KA1-120, it's going to be KA1-121. And these are specific among the opportunities in the website of the European Union, and you can check there what mobility you can do under this code. And then I've also seen here Maria Manuela. Hi everyone, I'm Italian and this is my first Erasmus Plus experience. I accredited my school and now I would like to find a partner, but I think I haven't figured out how to do it. Can someone explain me how to do it? So you need a partner for your mobility, basically. So as you are here, we are a potential partner for your mobility, depending on the criteria and the pillars that you have in your project for accreditation. There are also more platforms where you can see also other mobility or other projects that are relevant for you. And I think they have been already shared here in the chat from Maria at the very beginning.
Yeah, so so before there was one major platform from the European Union where there were different sets of courses, but they're transferring it now, and it takes a lot of time. So now it has been temporarily disabled for 6 months, I think, since September, School Education Gateway. Somebody recommended Facebook groups in the chat. So also, I think this is a good source of information and finding partner. I would check, there are a lot of them. So just check the number of participants and also how active. So the last post that was there to understand if there are people really participating or it was just created in 2002 and that's it. So the number of people, at least several thousands, and when was the last post be done there. And then in the chat, somebody shared very useful advices of what to put in your Facebook search in order to find those groups, and not to find a group of, students who went to Barcelona in 2016 and want to keep in touch.
May I answer there's a question from Daniela Churea. The payment for the training program will be made by the teacher or there are other methods for the payment. So basically, if you come with Erasmus Plus, each school has its way to manage the funds, the money. Some of them give it directly to the teacher's account, and some of them keep it and pay us directly. But from us, what happens is that you subscribe, our accountant sends you an invoice that is with the address that you put. So you should get information from your school if you need your own address or the address of the school. Anne from France, est-ce que ces formations sont financées par nous-mêmes ou a-t-on des aides? So are these trainings funded by us or do we have some help? So the trainings can be funded by you or by Erasmus Plus, and Erasmus Plus covers fees for travel, accommodation, a per diem for food, and for all training costs. Je répète rapidement en français, ces formations sont financées par Erasmus+. On délivre un certificat qui dit que vous avez bien suivi une formation de 36 heures chez nous. Et pour ce faire, il faut faire cette demande dont Francesca a parlé, qui peut être pour un projet court terme ou pour un projet long terme, ce qui s'appelle une accréditation. Et une fois que vous avez les résultats positifs de ces demandes, là, votre formation est financée entièrement, c'est-à-dire le voyage, l'hébergement, un per diem pour manger et les frais de cours. Pour les Français, je vous mets un lien important qui est le lien aux développeurs. Je le mets en chat là. Les développeurs, ce sont des personnes qui ont l'expérience, que vous ne devez pas payer, surtout pas, mais ce sont des personnes qui vous aident pour le montage de dossiers. So that is something a bit private for French. Excuse me, everybody else. Ah,
a European Cultural Academy, so I think that
yes. How many teachers are necessary for every school? Minimum. Okay. So if the session is confirmed, you can also come by yourself. One. If you need a session on dates that you choose, the minimum is 15. Every number in the middle, we discuss. You discuss with me or with Francesca. So school can be in just one Erasmus project. Francesca, I'd said yes, no? Oh, no, in time, you say, in time, you can always be in a Erasmus, so you can do the number you want.
Yes, so in just one Erasmus project, you can be, your Erasmus project can include mobility for staff and for students at the same time. This is up to you. You are empowered to create your own project. So depending on your interest, depending on what your school needs, then you can be in one Erasmus project, which includes different opportunities. I think I got a private message here from Severin. It's in French, so I'm going to read out loud and Sarah will answer for me because my French is not good enough. Comment connaître les budgets alloués pour les formations et proposez-vous des formations qui ont un lieu avec les maths?
Oh, with math? Mathematics?
Oui.
Okay. So we have a lot. Please write in the chat if I can answer. Can I answer in English?
I think, Sarah, I think that also it will be very useful to have a session with Séverine, because I think that if you, Séverine, si vous avez des intérêts, Sarah, peuvent avoir un petit réunion, rendez-vous avec vous, après en Zoom ou la semaine prochaine, juste pour répondre à toutes vos questions et peut-être suggérer des recommandations pour votre projet Erasmus. Peut-être ce sera un peu plus... Sarah, tu peux mettre ton mail dans le chat. Alors, pour vous connecter.
Voilà, avec plaisir. Pour répondre très rapidement, oui, nous avons beaucoup d'enseignants de maths qui viennent. L'important, c'est de vouloir mettre de l'art dans votre enseignement. Donc, au musée, vous allez tirer ce que vous voulez du musée par rapport à votre discipline et la mettre en partage avec les autres de la formation.
I run my own school, but I don't hire any personnel, and it's pretty small, the amount of my students. Is it possible for me to register for Erasmus Plus Mobility? Yes, it is. So the number of students in your school doesn't matter. We have, and it's very interesting, we have schools that come from a very remote village, for example, where it is maybe 20 kids studying, and the shortest trip to museum is 2 days. So it's incredibly important to include creativity and art in the teaching in those schools, because the resources are not as available as for somebody who lives in other environment. So for sure, yes, I think it will be incredibly important for you if you're interested to go and then incorporate this element for the kids.
I think you answered Celine already.
Yes, Celine, do we receive the program that you showed for 6 days? So I will send to everybody who followed today, we will send the recording of this meeting and our PowerPoints. So you will have the example schedule. Yes. Oui, vous pouvez, vous allez recevoir en PDF nos présentations avec les exemples de programmes. Yes.
I think Severin, but another Severin from France, was just checking again, I think, about you're accredited, and the deadline for, I think you meant KA1, I'm not sure about the 101 code, but the same deadline for short-term projects 120 is also for 1-to-1. So if you are an accredited school and you want to apply for another project under K-Action 1-to-1, then you can, the same deadline is 23rd of February at 12 p.m. And let's see if there is any other.
How many
How
students?
many students can participate in group mobility? I think that, as Sarah mentioned, like there is the minimum is 1. The maximum is we have 20 for each group, but then we can chat with us, let us know how many people, teachers are interested to come, and we can also, for more than 12, 15, I think, Sarah, you mentioned, then we can set a date, separate dates, besides what we have in our website. If we want to.
For Francesca Nevillier, for this question, let's be clear that when you say students, it's teachers. We do teacher training. We don't want kids.
Right.
That's for you. No, students, if you mean participants and teachers, it's as Francesca said, from 1 to whatever number you want. If we want to participate in your project, what can we do? So we don't have a proper Erasmus project. We are the training center, so we give courses, 6-day courses, and you can ask for funding to follow these courses and travel in Europe for teaching through art. Céline, avons-nous des conventions à envoyer, d'autres documents une fois que l'accréditation a été accordée? So do we have other, so this is interesting for everybody. Do we have conventions, agreements, or anything to send once our accreditation has been given? Yes. You can write to every national agency has different paperwork. So you write to your national agency with the code of your accreditation, and they send you all the paper that you have to have with you. You can send us before, so we can sign it. There's a pedagogical agreement that we sign. Normally it's before you come, but sometimes you can bring it with you, stamp it, print it, and we sign it. Oh, I think we are done with the questions.
That's great. We're also almost done with the time.
Also free to just turn on your microphone and ask your questions out loud if you want.
So also what we offer, and I think that it's nice if Sara and Francesca, you repeat it also in Italian, in English, in French. If you still have questions today, tomorrow, or you want to talk about your project, or you're not sure the next steps or what to do, send us an email and just say, I have some questions. Can we talk? And then we have a Zoom. I think sometimes it is just faster to go one by one, talking to your questions. Doesn't matter if they're basic or they're complex. If we can answer and help, we will do it. So just send us an email saying, I would like a conversation with you, and that's it. And we'll schedule something, okay? Sarah,
Yes.
Francesca, maybe the same.
Yes, don't hesitate. I think everybody has to go now. And thank you very much. So we will send an email to everybody. So you will have our emails in the signatures, and let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ok, merci.
Posso dire lo stesso in italiano brevemente per qualcuno se serve. Invieremo la nostra mail e tutte le informazioni che avete ricevuto oggi con le presentazioni prossimamente nell'indirizzo mail con cui vi siete iscritti a questa sessione. Per qualsiasi cosa scriveteci, siamo qui, possiamo anche parlarne telefonicamente, quindi fateci tutte le domande per far realizzare, insomma, un progetto con Erasmus e con noi.
Okay.
Maybe Sarah, I'll leave you with the stage for French.
Oui, pardon. Donc, si vous voulez qu'on discute en français, c'est avec moi que ça va se passer, et vous m'envoyez un mail. Donc, on va vous envoyer par mail tous les PDF qu'on a passés aujourd'hui. Dans la signature, il y a mon mail, enfin, vous répondez, et on se voit sur Zoom avec vos questions. Voilà.
Ok. Thank you. Vielen Dank. Yes.
Dankeschön, Karin.
Gracias a todos. So thank you so much We're gonna repeat those sessions throughout the year. We're planning events online and offline also for accredited and non-accredited schools. We want to create more opportunities to talk. I see some people asking if they can find a partner for the project even now. I would love that to happen in the chat. People just connecting and creating opportunities for themselves. So thank you for joining. We stay in touch, and we're here again for anything that you need. Okay, have a lovely evening and a lovely weekend, everyone. Good luck if you are preparing a project for the 23rd of February. And I hope to see all of you in Venice, Amsterdam, or Barcelona. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
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 So just a word about how to subscribe to our courses and how to see these details I showed in my presentation. You can go on our website, and actually what I showed was the screenshots of our website. So here you see the homepage of our website, Courses for Art Professionals. You scroll down and we have other courses in ECA about contemporary art and architectures, but it's not for teachers. Our courses for teachers is in the educators page. So you click on educators, and here you have all the teaching through art programs I talked about. You go down, you click on whatever program you want, and you have all the detail of this particular course. So when you go down, you have a description, the whole calendar, some outcomes. Also for filling in your project, it's useful. So you have the lecturers, and also down, that is very important, you have the dates. Here they are. Here are the dates where these courses are open to registration, okay? You can click on register here, or you have a register button you can find anywhere else on the website. Do you have Erasmus funding? If you do, so please click yes. And here you actually register directly to receive an email from us and to receive your invoice, get invoice, okay? If you do not have Erasmus funding, you still leave your details, and we will contact you to see how you can register. So register, no, and here is your email and your language you can choose. You can go back to all our courses here for educators and choose the course you wish. Same thing for everyone. Je vais redire ça en français. Je voulais juste parcourir avec vous comment on utilise notre site Internet. Donc, nous avons plusieurs cours pour les professionnels de l'art et de l'architecture qui ne vous concernent pas. Ce sont des cours pour d'autres publics. Les cours pour enseignants sont ici. Les formations pour éducateurs, donc vous allez dans Teaching Through Art et là, vous trouvez le cours qui vous intéresse. Je vais aller sur, par exemple, le cours en français à Venise, enseigner et apprendre à travers l'art. Vous avez le bouton s'inscrire. Je vais y revenir, mais surtout, donc, si vous passez bien toute la page, vous allez voir énormément d'informations importantes pour votre inscription, pour le montage de dossier aussi, puisqu'on vous demande les propos du cours, justement, les buts, les objectifs. Et donc, tout ça, on les a mis ici, les objectifs du cours, ainsi que, très important, les dates auxquelles vous pouvez vous inscrire sont au bas de la page. Donc, vous voyez, ça, c'est toutes nos dates pour 2023. Vous pouvez ensuite vous inscrire directement. Bien sûr, on aura un échange concernant votre inscription, mais on vous demande si vous avez ou non la subvention Erasmus. Si vous l'avez, vous pouvez mettre vos coordonnées ici et puis vous cliquez sur Get Invoice. Bon, là, ça ne marche pas. Vous cliquez sur Get Invoice et vous serez directement en contact avec nous et avec notre comptabilité qui vous enverra ensuite, après quelques échanges, pas de panique, ça ne va pas être tout de suite débité sur votre compte, mais qui vous enverra la facture. Dico la stessa cosa in italiano. Volevo fare un piccolo punto su come si arriva alla descrizione dei nostri corsi attraverso il nostro sito. La European Cultural Academy è un centro di formazione per professionisti dell'arte e altri professionisti dell'architettura, quindi i corsi nostri sono i terzi, quelli con scritto educators. Educators, quindi siete voi, insegnanti. Teaching Through Art sono tutti i nostri corsi, quelli che vi ho fatto vedere. Ne scegliete uno, vado su quello in italiano, per esempio ad Amsterdam, Storytelling. Ne scegliete uno e vedrete una descrizione che vi può aiutare nella compilazione del vostro progetto per chiedervi informazione, nonché in fondo alla pagina, molto importante, le date in questa formazione. Adesso stiamo prendendo per esempio le iscrizioni per queste 2 settimane a marzo. Poi il pulsante registrati serve per dire se avete Erasmus Plus o no. Se lo avete, basta mettere i vostri dati qui e riceverete una mail mia prima di tutto e poi una fattura. E se non lo avete, ci scrivete, lasciate la vostra mail e siamo in contatto noi per vedere come vi volete effettivamente iscrivere. That is all for our website, and same thing, I'm always here for more questions. Thanks.